and gentlemen, fighting in at 175 pounds, the undisputed light heavyweight champion of the world, Joey Jones. Welcome to fairbutfirm.com. My name is Joe Cortez, former international boxing referee from Las Vegas, Nevada, the boxing capital of the world. Today we have with us a special guest, Joey Jones. Joey's one of my favorite heroes and undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Joey, tell us a little bit about your background. Are you in the Marines? And take it from there. Tell the viewers, it's about boxing, but you know, this guy's a fighter in his own world, in his own right. So let him tell you a little bit about himself.
Absolutely. Well, first let me tell you, thank you. It's an honor to be here with a Hall of Fame boxing referee. Absolutely honored to be here. You know, in boxing, I'm sure you have what's called the warrior ethos, and that's what we have in the military. And part of that's taking care of each other. Part of it is about going out and fighting for something you believe in, but also when you're done fighting and you hang it up, sometimes you need someone to help you out. So I worked for the boot campaign, but before that I was in the Marine Corps for 8 years. During that time, you know, I love my brothers and sisters in arms, and we deployed to Iraq twice. We deployed finally to Afghanistan in 2010, and I was an EOD tech, a bomb tech. So while I was there in 2010, taking apart an IED, a bomb, unfortunately one went off underneath me and I lost both my legs above the knee. So since then, I've dedicated my life and profession to taking care of my brothers and sisters that don't get to sit down with guys like you, Joe, and have a great time. Sometimes they need other things, more immediate necessities, and I try to help them out with stuff like that.
Well, you know, you definitely are a hero, and you're really on the right track, doing the right things in life. A lot of individuals out there will say, you know, well, I'm having a tough day today. I got up on the wrong side of the bed, and you know, all kinds of excuses about everything in life. And you got an individual like yourself, 28 years young, and you have one son, is it?
I do. I have a little 5-year-old son. He started football last week, and he's just mean as he can be. So we're going to try to tame him up. Okay. Maybe he needs a box. I don't know. I don't know if football is the right sport.
Well, I think it's a good sport. My grandson Bryce is in football, and he goes here in Las Vegas to Centennial High School, and he's doing pretty good. It's a good thing to do because, you know, I believe any sport is good for kids because it teaches them discipline, self-esteem, the confidence level. All of that kicks in with any sport. But, you know, I got involved with it as a fighter, and it helped me a lot. And I'm sure that yourself, if you were a boxer, I'm sure you would definitely be a world champion because of your attitude, the positive attitude. A lot of it is mental. And I tell these fighters, you know, now that I'm retired, I can talk to young kids and tell them, listen, you know what? Everything is about being mentally prepared, then physically prepared like yourself. You're in excellent condition. You know, well, you got arms like a Mike Tyson. You know, and you can look at you knock anybody's head off with the physique that you have. You take care of yourself physically, and you work hard, and you're very positive about it. I have a daughter who's a quadriplegic from an auto accident 16 years ago, Cindy, my oldest daughter. And she doesn't complain about anything. She tells me, there's nothing wrong with me, Dad. You know, she goes out, she's paralyzed from the chest down, but she gets in her car, and she's able to drive, no fine motor, but we have adapters in her car. She goes out every day, goes to the gym, works out, and doesn't complain about anything. It may take her 3 times the amount as the normal individual to put the makeup on and all that, but she wants to do it herself. So it'll take her maybe 4 or 5 hours to get ready. She gets up at 6 every morning, and very positive about it. She's out all day doing things, and never complains. And that's what I like about the way you are. Positive attitude, go-getter. You're involved with the boot campaign now, which is a project that you're dealing with right now. Tell us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. Well, first I want to tell you, I saw pictures, and your daughter's absolutely beautiful. And I think a lot of that is the person within her showing through. You know, she and I, we've suffered through some tragic instances, but at the end of the day, we have a perspective on life that we're very appreciative of what we are able to do. And so that's inspiring for me. It was nice to hear you talk about your daughter that way. But beyond that, where I'm at now with the boot campaign is really simple. We got celebrities like yourself that have a fan base and people that are very passionate about something like boxing, and we introduce them to our military and their service and sacrifice by getting celebrities like yourself to take a picture with combat boots on like we have here. And what happens is people go, why is Joe wearing combat boots? And little do they know, Joe was in the Army, and Joe served our country. And even the celebrities that do it that weren't in the military, they have an appreciation. Their fans see that. They look up Boot Campaign, and they realize we're sitting there telling stories of persons like Marcus Luttrell from Lone Survivor,
Right.
Joey Jones, just a regular Marine that got hurt, to some of the other remarkable stories that we tell. And, you know, service and sacrifice, those are two words, but they're life experiences, and it's tragedy that turn into positive things, and we try to share those stories. When we raise money, we give it back to those military individuals that need help, and it's a great life.
Okay, let me ask you a question. It's a great story. I mean, you're an inspiration to so many individuals out there, even to myself. My daughter is an inspiration to us, but listening, coming from you as well, being I'm a veteran myself, not that I was a war veteran, but I was in the Army, and you know, you're so positive about everything. Now, after you had this tragic accident, how did this change your life?
It changed, well, beyond the obvious. What it really changed about me was how I looked at things and how I reacted to things. Mm-hmm. When I first got hurt, I realized that even if I were in a wheelchair for the rest of my life, that wasn't my decision. I couldn't choose to not have these fake legs or not have that physical limitation. But what I could choose is what I did with it, what I became with it, what I used it for. And really what happened was when I would get really emotional and upset, I'd take 5 minutes and I would let it all out. And I would sit there and I would realize, man, you know, I threw stuff at the wall because I still had my hands. I yelled cuss words because I still had my voice in my mind. And I realized all the amazing things that were still right here in me or at my fingertips. And you don't have to look any further than those you love and know that they're taken care of to say, there's so much still to live for and so much still to do. So it was an easy decision, but a hard road to get there but once I got there, it was an easy decision that if I could take all these wonderful blessings in my life and point out to people how wonderful life truly is, that maybe, you know, some other people might see the same thing. So.
Absolutely. You know, there's a lot of individuals out there that I would say, why me? But there's another road you can take. Instead of just going on the negative side, look at it on the positive side. It could have been worse. It could have been worse for Joey. It could have been worse for my daughter. But they're here. They're able to talk to individuals to try to get them on the right track. Individuals that are suffering from paralysis or just whatever. And there's always there's another alternative in life other than just try to stay in the room and don't come out and have that negative attitude. There is life after certain tragedies happen, but it all depends on yourself and the way you see life. That you have to have that positive attitude and say, you know, I want to help other individuals, you know, that have gone through what you've going through. There's individuals right now that are probably coming home or at the Walter Reed Hospital, you know, rehab, and it's tragic, but here's an inspiration for all of us. And for you guys out there, anybody out there watching and listening that are going through what he has gone through, a similar situation, there is life, there is hope. Things will be better one day, but you got to stick with it. Like a fighter, you get knocked down, and what do you do when you get knocked down?
You get back up.
There you go, you get back up, and those are the true champions. Last Saturday we have boxing here in Las Vegas. We have Floyd Mayweather Jr. against Marcos Maidana from Argentina. Mayweather got a cool $32 million. His opponent, being that he was the opponent and not the champion, he got $3 million. Not much, but I think many fighters out there would have taken $3 million.
I think so, yeah. When you think about where these guys come from, you know, their home state or their inner city or from another country, boxing is it's that staple sport in this country that you can go back as far as you want to, and it's been a part of our culture. They call baseball America's pastime, but I would venture to say that we're a country that really, boxing shows so much of our spirit and who we are and what we fight for. There's so much passion there, you know.
Exactly.
You can fall asleep in the 7th inning, but you're not going to fall asleep in the 2nd round.
Unless it's one of those hugging and lousy fights. Yeah. But most fights, 99.9% of the fights are good action-packed fights.
That's it.
Anyway, so boxing, we were talking about boxing before. You know, I was a fighter back in the days when I was coming up out of New York. And a lot of folks didn't know that I was a 6-time Golden Glove champion, New York, Easterns, Spanish Golden Gloves, Nationals. And then I turned pro when I was 18. And I had, going to my 5th pro fight, I lost a 6-round decision in Madison Square Garden. And I got so discouraged, I decided to, you know what? They had to volunteer for the military, for the Army. I went into the Army and got into the Army, and I tried to get on the boxing team, but they told me, you can't be on the boxing team, you're ready for a pro, you already have 5 pro fights. And I said, wow, but what can we do? You know, I became friendly with the chaplain, Father Sheen, down in Fort Hood, Texas. I did my basic in New Jersey, in Fort Dix. I did my advanced infantry training at Fort Hood. And I asked the police help me out to keep me on the team somehow, and they worked that out. They spoke with Lieutenant Williams, and Lieutenant Williams said, all right, we'll keep you on the team, Joe, as a coach. So referee for 35 years, and the rest is history. I mean, I've done close to 200 World Championship fights, and refereed Mike Tyson 9 times, Oscar De La Hoya 6 times, Julio Cesar Chavez 6 times, Manny Pacquiao 4 times, Floyd Mayweather 4 times, just to name but a few. Lennox Lewis, Larry Holmes, Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto Duran, to name a few of the big name fighters out there. And when I got inducted into International Boxing Hall of Fame, I told my wife, you know what, guys, and I told my family, I told them, you know what, 35 years would be a good number to go out. Not 33, 32, 34, but I got inducted in my 34th year into professional boxing. I said, my 35th year, I'm going out. So very few people knew until the day that I was going to referee my last fight, Canelo Alvarez versus Joselito Lopez. I announced my retirement that night. I wanted to go out with a big fight, and I did. I went on my own terms.
Absolutely.
And I loved it, and you know, here we are doing things. I'm still involved with boxing. I do a lot of stuff with the networks right now, especially with ESPN. As a boxing analyst, I have a lot of fun traveling with them, and I'm doing some fun with my buddy here, having some fun with my buddy here, Joey, with his boot campaign. Tell us a little bit about the boot campaign.
Absolutely. So the boot campaign was started in Texas 4 years ago, and it was a real simple concept. 5 ladies right there in Texas read the book Lone Survivor, and they realized, wow, there's so much to this military service and sacrifice that we take for granted. And our lives have been changed from learning about Marcus's story. How can we share that with other people? And they landed on the idea of getting celebrities to put combat boots on to get other people, fans, interested in supporting the military. And then they could come in with a boot campaign and tell them about it. So the boot campaign is real simple. We do 3 things. We raise awareness about our military and veterans among civilians. We promote patriotism among civilians by doing events and doing the boots so people can actively support their military. And then we provide support. So when we do fundraisers, we take that money, we give urgent financial assistance to veterans and service members. Doesn't matter if they were injured or which conflict, Vietnam, World War II, Iraq, Afghanistan. If they need something done and the government can't do it or another nonprofit isn't doing it, we're there to fill that gap. And, you know, it's not too bad either. I get to hang out with guys like yourself, living legends, Hall of Famers. And, you know, boxing would not be today what it is without Joe Cortez. And is it fair to say that you wouldn't be what you are today without a few years in the Army?
Well, I'll tell you, the military did help me a lot. I mean, it kept me on the right track. I learned a lot about protecting our country, but most importantly was that you know, I was able to take it upon myself. We had the draft back then, so I volunteered for the draft. I was only 19 years of age, and I thought it was a great experience. If I had to do it all over again, I would. And it was something like yourself. Something that's a passion. You want to fight for your country. I was a fighter in the ring, but there was a time I felt, you know, I got to do something for my country before I start a family, before I get married and whatnot. I was always thinking ahead. I'm not the kind of guy to procrastinate about things. I think about it. I want to do it real quick, do it, and feel good about it. And I was, you know, very fortunate that I was able to serve my country. And then when I got out, I continued my boxing career as a professional fighter. And then I swore I wasn't going anywhere in boxing with only 1 loss. But at 18-1, then I decided to go into hotel management. I became a manager of hotels down in Puerto Rico with the El San Juan Hotel Corporation, casino operations manager with the El Conquistador Hotel. And it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun doing that. But I was already in boxing as a referee. So it made my life more enjoyable knowing that I was able to meet people from all walks of life, traveling around the world refereeing fights, and meeting people like yourself. I mean, it's an honor. You know, it's not every day you meet a guy like Joey Jones who's still fighting for our country in his own way and helping the individuals out there to get them on the right track. Now, I understand you guys have raised over $6 million in the years that you've been with the boot campaign. And you expect to, if you can raise $10, $100, anything, it's a drop in the bucket that helps you achieve your goals. That we're trying to get individuals out there like yourself that need help. So we're looking forward for a lot of volunteers to get involved with the boot campaign. You can go to the website.
Absolutely, it's bootcampaign.com. To put it in perspective, there are 300 million Americans and 1.4 million serve at any given time. Now, I'm not a mathematician, but that's less than 1%. There are about 21 million veterans in this country, which is still a very small fraction. We've brought in $6 million. We've put out 86% of that back out into our mission. And it's not about the dollar amount, but it's about the amount of support that we're bringing in among Americans everywhere. So the things we do, we try to do to, one, educate our country about our military servicemen and women, and two, we try to raise money so we can help take care of them when they need it. And we very much believe that those men and women just need help to that next run on the ladder because they are ambitious and smart people. There are a lot of amazing fighters muraled behind us here, and a lot of champions and legends, but I'll tell you, if you're at home and you're looking for inspiration or a role model, you don't have to look far past Joe here to see what a true American dream is and really what it means to fight for something you believe in, both your country and your profession, and take care of your family. And so it's been a real honor to be here with you today.
Well, my honor, Joey, is again, like I said, he's an undisputed heavyweight champion, Joey Jones. We'll see you next week.